My name is Tim Mooney, and I am Imlay City because I moved to Imlay City by choice, not by chance. We found this amazing house, the Palmer House on the corner of 4th and Main. It's this huge yellow Victorian house that just evokes friendliness. I can't tell you how many times we've had neighbors stopping by just to say hello, tell me how much they like the place, and how well we've been received by just the people, the schools, the hardware store, people who just hear about where we're living, and you can tell the light of recognition in their face. I wanted to participate in this community storytelling project because I'd love for people to know what we've been working on. Ultimately, we want to share our work and our place with the community at large. My housemate April is working on fixing the place up as a cozy bed and breakfast. I'm having a stage being built out back in the pole barn where I rehearse my shows, and I present those shows at schools and theaters across the country. And to get warmed up for those, I do these preview events out back where I invite local friends and neighbors to come and see a show and visit. We have a little social hour in the house, and then go back out back and see a show. The thing that I value most about this Imlay City community is that people have been so nice. There's all these town activities with parades that go almost right by my house. Our neighbors have been so kind and generous. The folks across the street bring us flowers from their garden. The guy out back lends me hedge clippers. The Rotary Club invited me in to speak, so I just feel like I've been adopted by this city. I envision myself as the future of Imlay City because I work with educational theater, and my job is to introduce students to Shakespeare. And those students usually struggle to figure out why Shakespeare is such a big deal. And usually by the time I'm done working with them, they get Shakespeare in a special way. And once a student actually gets Shakespeare, they get opened up to a world of culture, ancient history, mythology, empathy, and entertainment. And then they find themselves empathizing and connecting with other cultures, other times, other locations. And it broadens their experiences. One school has already told us they want us to bring Romeo and Juliet back to the 9th grade English class every year. Shakespeare tackles the big ethical conversations, the big ethical considerations of our time, of all time, and crystallizes them in a way that an audience can perceive and understand and grow into what it was like to be Hamlet, or what it was like to be King Lear or Julius Caesar, and think about other times and other issues that they dealt with then that they're still going to be confronted with today. Yeah, well, I've been doing theater since 2nd grade, which is more than 50 years ago. And I've done a little more every year. I did a bunch during high school. I majored in theater during college. I got my Master of Fine Arts in directing, and I ran a theater for a while. I wrote a newsletter about theater for a while. And at one point, a group, it was the Canadian Women's Guild, asked me to come in and do an event, a luncheon for their group, but they didn't want like a lecture, they wanted some kind of a performance. And it gave me an idea for a one-man show based on the monologues that I'd learned from those other shows, in which I would present Moliere without a cast, having to perform all by himself. And it's a rather convoluted plot, but it created my one-man show, Moliere Than Thou. I arrived in Imlay City at the Palmer House on October 21st, 2022. And October 21st, all the trees were orange and yellow and gold. And if you've seen the Palmer House, you know that it's this big, bright yellow, green house. And it was just it blew my mind and was tickled my senses. And I didn't quite decide then and there that that's what we were going to do, but it grew on us the more we thought about it, and we decided to make the move. And now that we're doing these shows out back in the pole barn, we're welcoming guests and neighbors to come and join us for events. So if anybody wants to reach out to us, we would love to get you on the invite list. And for whoever can't quite make it in person or wants to find a way to reach out to me, all my social media handles are Tim Mooney Rep, which is short for the Timothy Mooney Repertory Theater. It's like the longest imaginable theater name for the smallest imaginable theater company. It's one person, but a huge name, which is an in-joke.